Welcome back! I've always wondered, what happens when a MapleStory addict with zero game design experience, but kinda knows how to code, is tasked to create a game?
Nice shoot,
To do so, I will be diving in completely blind into MapleStory Worlds. For those that don't know, MapleStory Worlds is a platform where players create unique games using Nexon's custom game engine, or in simpler terms, a MapleStory version of Roblox. As of this video, there's not much on MapleStory Worlds here in the West other than its own documentation, but I did find a series of videos on the English MapleStory Worlds channel. Alright, time to make the game. The game is going to be called Jump Quest, a play on words with the game Jump King and MapleStory's Jump Quests. Get it? Huh. Like the name suggests, it's going to be a Jump King-esque game, platforming where falling means losing progress, but with a bit of randomness and chaos sprinkled in. First, I want to make the movement of my game speedy. Alright, here's the properties of the player. Let's see how a speed of 5 works. Oh, alright, not bad. Let's double the jump force. Should double my height, right? Okay, I like what I have now. I made jumps similar to bunny hopping while still making precise jumps possible. Some other notes: turn on blocking vertical topography to prevent this. Turn off down jumping to prevent this. And I made slopes slippier. Reminds me of... Okay, on to level design.
MapleStory.
I probably have to use tweening for moving platforms. How fast can I make it? Oh, it seems fair, right?
MapleStory.
Alright, mostly finished the platforming of level 1. Since the first level is basically the tutorial, I'll try to skim through it. Here introduces basic jumping and movement. Here's a bit of slopes and how weird they are. Don't worry, I don't want to use them that much. Here teaches them moving platforms and precision jumping. And done. At the end of the platforming of each section, I want to add a boss that somewhat relates to the level itself. And level 1's boss... good enough. And the name's gonna be... The Platform God. The fight will involve platforming across the stage while the boss flings platforms at you. However, I gotta figure out the physics for that. Can't be too hard, right? What? Why is this so laggy? Alright, that was not the setting. Oh, I'm on the ground. Oh, which tab was it again? Oh no. Okay, really? Oh! Whoa. It's kind of what I wanted, but not really. Ah, yes. Physics. What even is this? Okay, I figured out a workaround to simulate the physics of pushing the player. With this simple component script, when a player enters the object's trigger box, it applies a custom amount of force to the player. Okay, maybe not that much. It'll make more sense after I complete the boss mechanics.
MapleStory. MapleStory.
Here's how the boss looks like so far, and ducking doesn't work. Alright, here it is, take 2. I wanted to keep things simple. Just gotta maneuver around this debris, like this. And boom, done. It's the first boss, okay? The later bosses will be more complex and creative. Kinda. After coding more logic and adding some triggers to start and stop the boss, wabam! Boss 1 fully completed. After crossing here, you step on its head with your weight and... Before going to level 2, I updated level 1 a bit, expanded the platforming since I realized I would need more space for level 2. I also added some NPCs to try out UI. Beautiful design, I know. This NPC teaches the player how to do this part, since it can be confusing at first, and also tries her best to show the player. The theme of level 2 is going to be speed, with these boosters I designed along with precise input timings. By pressing the jump button inside the booster, it launches the player based on a set force, varying from little hops like this to this monstrosity. And I'm in space again.
MapleStory. MapleStory. MapleStory.
Alright, I made the beginning of the level pretty tame, so players can test how the boosters and portals work. If you run and jump naively, you land here and can easily get back with this booster. Use this booster to progress pretty easily. For this part you have to launch here, then boom, boom. Time it so you don't hit the wrong booster. Same thing here, but faster. This part I just thought was funny. We're off by one tile to make it up there, so obviously you gotta use this mega booster to fly across the map and then fly back. This part can look confusing at first because it is. Oh, yeah, these saws stop your momentum and stuns you. Oh, there we go. It's pretty tricky. I really like this part, and it's much easier than it looks. See? Nice. And finally, the last set of inputs before the boss. More zooming. Here's a clip of a successful run. It involves a lot of booster timings. And the last portal would have teleported the player to the boss. Time for boss 2. I'll reveal while the stage is being built in the background. What better speed-related boss to add than from one of the most frequently sped-ran game? And in this corner, a dragon that terrorized all of us when we were younger, the starter dragon. Don't sue me, Microsoft. The battle will consist of 2 phases. The first phase is eerily similar to another dragon. It will involve weakening the dragon by climbing up pillars and destroying its blue flames, while the dragon will be constantly trying to fling the player off. Alright, that's the camera and crystal mechanics done. Jumping into it disables the fire, plays an effect, and teleports the player. Now, for how the dragon is going to work. The dragon itself has a hitbox which launches the player to a random direction when they touch it. So I want one attack that zigzags up and down from right to left, and another that scans through bottom up. So, when I enter the boss portal, I made it so there's a small intro where it flies in. Then the dragon should start with the zigzag move, nice. Oh, alright, at least I know that works. Okay, it should move back to the rest position, and it should do the scanning move. Alright, nice. And for the third attack, it's going to be something a little more complicated. I basically want the dragon to fly to the middle and shoot fire around the stage. What I'm hoping to do is use these giant cones I made, here's the hitbox, blink a few times by toggling visibility as a warning, then have it become invisible, but enable the hitbox to launch the player. Here's the cone placements. I made sure to leave the starting platform safe. Oh boy, what did I do? Boom, phase 1 done. Alright, entering this portal immediately starts the fight, and it should do a random move. Nice, it's the fire move. It kind of just picks a cone and then fires at that direction. It does that until every cone has been picked twice. Blue flame 1, 2. So after destroying 2 blue flames, the dragon's attacks are faster. Oh, uh-oh. And even faster after destroying 4 blue flames. Now for phase 2, which starts after all the blue fires are destroyed. Alright, ready? This is the last blue flame. Boom, a brief cutscene happens. Basically, without the power of the blue flames, the starter dragon is forced to try to retreat. Now Orchid brings one of the boosters she stole from level 2, and you have to use it to launch yourself at the dragon. The boss requires 3 hits to defeat, and after each hit, it gets a bit harder. And the last hit, enjoy this cutscene. As you can tell, I figured out sound effects. Yup. And here's the portal to level 3. I wanted to build level 3 before explaining anything because, let's just say this level's a bit different from the other levels. And done. The theme? As you can see, you start with 0 mesos and making certain jumps generate money. This jump to the left gives 10 mesos. It's very easy and very safe. This one in the middle gives 50 mesos, but it's a little more difficult and changes after each successful jump. And this last jump is very hard, but gives a whopping 500 mesos. And of course, in like other games, there needs to be upgrades for the meso generation feedback loop. Up here, you can buy relics. These upgrades range from additive meso multipliers, multiplicative meso multipliers, and a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. You might ask, what is even the point of having all this meso? Well, that's where the boss of level 3 comes in. Not too far up, you reach every Mapler's nightmare. Star Forcing. To defeat the boss, all you have to do is Star Force a piece of Eternal to 22 stars. I built the logic using the actual rates and costs of Starforcing level 250 equipment. And final thing to mention, with the last two upgrades providing star catching and destruction reduction, the average cost to proceed to level 4 is around
45.5 billion.
And 22. Here's the portal to level 4. And for the final level for now, here's level 4. Huh, looks familiar, doesn't it? Ah, you probably already know the twist from the thumbnail. But if I change the background and turn these two layers on, yeah. The moment you enter level 4, you might wonder, how do I even start? Well, you might have noticed that the only object that's not duplicated is this hay bale, which was hinted at in level 1 by the no memory guy. By lining up the right edge of the hay bale to the right edge of the last step in the staircase, you can figure out that this staircase is the real staircase. Then you gotta figure out everything from there. With a blind playthrough, the difficulty depends on how many times the player had to redo level 1 after falling. Playing through now, this part is particularly evil. Wow, not for me though. See? Easy. And we reached the final boss. It's gotta be related to memory, so why not base it off of what the platforming part is inspired by? Limbo. No, not you. This Limbo. For those that don't know, Limbo is an infamously difficult memory level in the game Geometry Dash. And at the end, there's a section where you keep track of a shuffling key while still maneuvering through the level. Instead of simple wave gameplay like in the original, it's gonna be simple platforming. Final time lapse, let's go. Okay, I really liked how it turned out. If the player climbs up here, it spawns the keys and highlights the correct key, then begins shuffling while moving the floor. Are you able to keep track? Well, I couldn't keep track of it while explaining, so I'll just pick a random one to show what happens when you choose the incorrect key. A random death animation should happen. This time it's
슬퍼하지 마라. 우리의 인연은 이것으로 끝이 아닐지니.
As of now, I only coded in 2. Here's the other one where you get by Megumin. I'll add more if I were to update this game. And that's it. I won't spoil the super cool ending if you choose the correct key. You'll have to figure that out yourself. I also added music themes for each level. It was incredibly annoying since the search function was based on badly created tags, and I think inputting any sound files wasn't supported yet. I was forced to comb through and listen to each file in the catalog. Here's level 1's BGM. I thought it sounded like funny tutorial music. Level 2's BGM? It's fast-paced and sounded like music for a ninja. Boss 2's music? It had an epic intro and sounds like fast-paced boss music. Level 3's BGM? It sounded like music you would hear at a mall. Level 4's BGM? It sounded like a slower, more mysterious version of Level 1's music. And here is Boss 4's music. I went for the most chaotic and distracting music I could find. There's also now a settings menu, and here's the to-do list for stuff I didn't implement yet. Alright, everything looks good, and release! You can go give it a try on MapleStory Worlds. Big warning, the movement is intentionally difficult and takes getting used to, and the falls are supposed to be punishing. If you search up Jump Quest, it should show up, I think. This isn't a Nexon sponsor, but I'm not against one. That about wraps it up. I've updated a few things since editing, so the game won't exactly be like in the video. Until next time, stay chaotic.